For those of you who are interested in growing hazelnuts, I thought I'd share with you the success I've had in growing mine. This is a Purple Filbert, and as you can see I've got a very decent crop. From every angle of this tree it is absolutely laden with hazelnuts. It's a big success story for me, and these trees have been in my garden now for a good 17-18 years, and it's the only time I've had a very heavy crop. Already the local squirrels have found them. They won't be ripe until probably September, and that's when they'll be ready for eating. But as you can see, there's plenty to be had for everybody, so I'm hoping that if the squirrels can't reach all of these hazelnuts, then at least there'll be some left for me and for Jane and for anybody else who'd like some who's around us. There are some large clusters here, and as you can see going up there are even more, and every branch has got a very good crop on it. So as you can see, even my twisted hazel has had some hazel, and they don't normally in my garden. It's just because I did the brutting in autumn and it lets more light into the female flowers. Then when the catkins come, when the pollen is carried from them by the wind, it's much more likely to pollinate the flowers, and you're going to get some hazelnuts. I also have a Kentish cob here, and this is also a great cross pollinator for the red filbert. These are what Kentish cob looks like, and they are very well camouflaged, as you can see from the tree, very green. And of course the squirrels like these as well, and there's plenty of those this year as well. Again, it's down to the technique of brutting to let light into the female flowers, and there were an awful lot of catkins this year over the winter months, so I was hoping that I was going to have a good crop. I've not been disappointed, so looking forward to plenty of these to be had over the autumn. And as you can see, the hazelnuts have done very well on these ones. These will need to be brutted though. Decent crop there, I must say. Everywhere you look, and of course, as ever, try and get them before the squirrels get them. Even some of the lower branches on my crop here are quite late. It reminds me of the sort of crops I was getting with the soft fruit, but this time it's the nuts. Well, look after your nuts and they'll look after you, eh? So they say. Here you go. Enjoy squirrels before I get to them, I suppose. Back in autumn I carried out the process of brutting, and if you take a branch which joins another one, such as this one I'm pointing to here, you're supposed to choose 6 to 7 leaf groups. This is a leaf group here, if you look across at these two here, away from where a branch is at a joint, and then snap the branch. So in this case here I would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and about there at the end of the growing season I'd snap that branch. You don't break it off, you just snap it. The reason you do brutting is because the developing female buds need light, and the catkins which fertilise them, that's the male part that produce the pollen, is wind pollinated, and in order for the buds to develop, the female flowers need pollinated and they have to develop properly, and that needs light. Also in winter, the inner part of the hazel around the crown wood can be thinned out, and up to 1/3 of the wood can be removed. Incidentally, this red filbert is very tall and very beautiful, and people compliment me on it. It's a very beautiful specimen, but you can contain it to 6 feet if you're growing these on the allotment, so it is very suitable to be grown on the allotment because it can be kept only 6 feet high. This red filbert hazelnut has been extremely successful this year because it was the first crop after I brutted them, and I'd only brutted them for the first time last year. So basically it's the best crop I've had since 1998, and these trees are relatively easy to propagate. Hazelnuts will grow from the actual nut itself very easily, and I've grown these myself by actually just putting some of the hazelnuts from last year into some pots. The best thing to do is to collect them and plant them as soon as you can. You'll need to crack open the nut. They like having a cold condition of being outside. I did grow some inside, but it was always best to get them outside, and it seems that the cold stimulates them. Of course, the squirrels will help you by burying them as well, so I found the little baby hazelnuts all over the garden. In late September, early October, I will begin cropping these hazelnuts. You will need a pair of secateurs, and you need to wipe them with rubbing alcohol or milk, something to sterilise them so you don't spread infections among your plants. And you can tell that they're ready because the involucre, that's the protective covering on them, starts to retract, revealing the nut. For the Kentish cob and other hazelnuts, the nuts appear more brown in colour, but in the red filbert it's completely different. You need to wait until they're ready. And you need to pick them from your hazelnut bush itself and don't let them fall to the ground, because wild creatures can get access, and of course there is hygiene to be considered. But I'm very pleased with this crop and very happy to share with you how I achieved this. Don't worry, because the nut clusters will grow back next year, providing you carry out the process of brutting as I've described, and pruning as well. Brutting is usually done in autumn after the growing season, and pruning can be done again over the dormant season, and these are deciduous. Remember, hazelnuts are wind pollinated, so you need to have more than one variety for cross-pollination, and the catkins are long, that's the male part, so you need to have more than one variety, which I have, as I said, twisted hazel, Kentish cob and the red filbert, so you get a much better and more healthy crop. Incidentally, if you are interested in looking after the wildlife in your area as well as having hazelnuts, it's always nice to have a rowan tree. This one's actually on a dwarf rootstock, and as you can see it's ripening off nicely. Of course you can use rowan in recipes yourself for making jams and jellies. Well, that's it for now. As ever, I love reading your comments. Please like, comment, subscribe, and until next time, thanks for watching.